The story of how wolves saved a man. Touching story. Deep in the Alaskan wilderness, a prospector comes to the rescue of an injured mother wolf and her pups, and a lasting connection is formed. One spring morning many years ago, I'd been prospecting for gold along Coho Creek on southeastern Alaska's Kuprianof Island. And as I emerged from a forest of spruce and hemlock, I froze in my tracks. No more than 20 paces away in the bog was a huge Alaskan timber wolf caught in one of Trapper George's traps. Old George had died the previous week of a heart attack, so the wolf was lucky I'd happened along. Confused and frightened at my approach, the wolf backed away, straining at the trap chain. Then I noticed something else. It was a female and her teats were full of milk. Somewhere there was a den of hungry pups waiting for their mother. From her appearance, I guessed that she had been trapped only a few days. That meant her pups were probably still alive, surely no more than a few miles away. But I suspected that if I tried to release the wolf, she would turn aggressive and try to tear me to pieces. So I decided to search for her pups instead and began to look for incoming tracks that might lead me to her den. Fortunately, there were still a few remaining patches of snow. After several moments, I spotted paw marks on a trail skirting the bog. They couldn't have been more than a few weeks old. I extended my hands and they tentatively suckled at my fingers. Perhaps hunger had overcome their natural fear. Then, one by one, I placed them in the burlap bag and headed back down the slope. When the mother wolf spotted me, she stood erect. Possibly picking up the scent of her young, she let out a high-pitched plaintive whine. I released the pups and they raced to her. Within seconds, they were slurping at her belly. What next, I wondered. The mother wolf was clearly suffering, yet each time I moved in her direction, a menacing growl rumbled in her throat. With her young to protect, she was becoming belligerent. She needs nourishment, I thought. I have to find her something to eat. Cutting hemlock boughs, I fashioned a rough shelter for myself and was soon asleep nearby. At dawn, I was awakened by 4 fluffy bundles of fur sniffing at my face and hands. I glanced toward the agitated mother wolf. If only I could win her confidence, I thought. It was her only hope. Over the next few days, I divided my time between prospecting and trying to win the wolf's trust. I talked gently with her, threw her more venison, and played with the pups. Little by little, I kept edging closer, though I was careful to remain beyond the length of her chain. The big animal never took her dark eyes off me. "Come on, mother," I pleaded. "You want to go back to your friends on the mountain. Relax." I woke at dawn, stirred by the sound of the pups nursing. Gently, I leaned over and petted them. The mother wolf stiffened. "Morning, friends," I said tentatively. Then I slowly placed my hand on the wolf's injured leg. She flinched but made no threatening move. This can't be happening, I thought, yet it was. I could see that the trap's steel jaws had imprisoned only 2 toes. They were swollen and lacerated, but she wouldn't lose her paw if I could free her. "Okay," I said, "just a little longer and we'll have you out of there." I applied pressure, the trap sprang open, and the wolf pulled free. After a while, with her pups scurrying around her, the mother wolf was ready to leave and began to limp off toward the forest. Then she turned back to me. "You want me to come with you, girl?" I asked. Curious, I packed my gear and set off. At dark, I set up camp. By the light of my fire and a glistening moon, I could see furtive wolf shapes dodging in and out of shadows, eyes shining. I had no fear, they were merely curious, and so was I. I awoke at first light. It was time to leave the wolf to her pack. She watched as I assembled my gear and started walking across the meadow. 4 years later, after serving in World War II, I returned to Coho Creek. It was the fall of 1945. After the horrors of the war, it was good to be back among the soaring spruce and breathing the familiar bracing air of the Alaskan bush. Then I saw, hanging in the red cedar where I had placed it 4 years before, the now rusted steel trap that had ensnared the mother wolf. The sight of it gave me a strange feeling, and something made me climb Kuprianof Mountain to the meadow where I'd last seen her. There, standing on a lofty ledge, I gave out a long, low wolf call, something I'd done many times before. An echo came back across the distance. Again I called, and again the echo reverberated, this time followed by a wolf call from a ridge about a half-mile away. Then, far off, I saw a dark shape moving slowly in my direction. As it crossed the meadow, I could see it was a timber wolf. A chill spread through my whole body. I knew at once that familiar shape even after 4 years. "Hello, old girl," I called gently. The wolf edged closer, ears erect, body tense, and stopped a few yards off, her bushy tail wagging slightly. Moments later, the wolf was gone. I left Kuprianof Island a short while after that and never saw the animal again. But the memory she left with me, vivid, haunting, a little eerie, will always be there. A reminder that there are things in nature that exist outside the laws and understanding of man.